Hi, so in this video, I'm going to be covering D1, D4, situational leadership. So the business that I'm in, I train a lot of salespeople and responsible for managing and developing multiple leaders. So we use this, and this can be found in pretty much any phase that anyone goes to when they're first learning something new. So essentially, how you're going to use this on your team is it's just going to help people realize exactly what they need to work on in order to get better at. So if you're a sales manager or you train people for a living, this will help you out and make your team grow. So on the screen here, I'm just going to write out, we're going to start with D1. So there's kind of four phases of development that anybody goes through throughout their course of time when they learn something new. So this is like one of the core principles that I use every single time that I'm teaching somebody anything or if they're struggling at any point, and I'll generally have a new salesperson learn this within their first, if not their second week here. So D1 is basically when someone's in their first phase of development, they're super brand new at something. And what you'll notice is that when people are brand new at something, they'll be really, really excited and like eager to learn. And you can think about this at anything that you've done. If you've ever learned how to ride a bicycle, when you first learned how to ride a bicycle, you're super excited because it's like the first thing that you've done, and or not the first thing you've done, but it's just something that's brand new to you. So it's super, super exciting, and your will is really, really, really high. But then what ends up happening is like when you first ride a bicycle, generally, you don't really know how to do it, right? And you fall down and you scrape your legs a lot and you kind of get some bruises. So that's like the skill part. And the skill part to what you do is like really low. You don't exactly know how to ride a bicycle. So to relate this back to sales, it's when I first start a new sales job, I'm learning a new product and I get super, super excited about it. But I don't have the skills yet to sell it. I don't know the product knowledge. I'm just really, really eager to learn and make my first sale, right? And then you go to D2. So D2 is when you lose all your excitement about something, right? So your will goes down. And then on top of that, your skill, you're not really that excited anymore, right? Like you have a whole bunch of negative thoughts. You don't feel good about what you're doing. You don't think that you can ever do it. And your will is really, really low at the same time as well as your skill, right? You don't have any product knowledge. You don't understand what you're selling. Or if like you're riding a bicycle, you fell down one too many times. You still don't know how to ride a bicycle and you're really, really frustrated. So this is the place where you definitely don't want to be. You're always going to be constantly like sad, right? Um, Now in D3, you start getting down the skill part to what you do. So like this is where if you were selling a product, you would understand how to sell the product. You're super excited. You understand how to sell the product, so you feel really good about that. You know all the product knowledge, but then what ends up happening is your will is still low. So generally what we see, or actually I won't get to that part yet. But what you get when you're in D3 is you understand how to do everything, so you can't be taught something over and over again. And the example I'll give for this is if you have a salesperson who understands everything to what you do already, right? Like they know the product knowledge, they know the ins and outs of the systematic way approach to whatever they're selling. Um, you can't change that, right? Once someone knows how to ride a bicycle, they know how to ride it forever. Like I learned how to ride a bicycle when I was about 8 years old. I still know how to ride a bicycle, right? I'll never forget that. But I might lose the excitement about riding a bicycle. I might not be as excited to get on the bicycle, and I might not be excited to sell the product anymore. I might not be excited to go talk to people and like try to close the deals or pick up the phone or go to networking events or whatever the case is. But I have the skill to do it, right? So that's like a D3, and then we get to D4. So D4 is where everybody wants to be. So this is where you should aim to be. This is where your skill is really high and you're super, super excited. And then your will is also really high. Or, I'm sorry, your skill is really high and you're also super excited. So you know everything there is to know about the product. You know all the ins and outs, and you also have the will. So you're super, super excited, right? And this is generally where if you're a salesperson, you're like the most badass salesperson in your group. You're making over 2K a week. You're closing every single deal. Everybody wants to be like you, right? And there's no secret. You still do the same skills and the same things as everybody else, but you're just more excited, right? You have that will that a new person, when that first person came in, they were like super excited. You still have that will. And if you do that, you'll always be D4 at everything that you do, whether that be sales or learning how to cook for the first time or learning how to ride a bicycle, right? So what we generally see, and this is how I really use this, is if I have a new person or if I have a person who's been doing sales for a while with us, what you'll notice is that they'll constantly jump between D3 and D4. So like they understand the skill part already. They learned that all the way in the beginning in their first couple of weeks with you, right? But they've lost their excitement, so they're not quite excited. So in order to fix them or make them better, if you're managing a team and you want to make them better, all you have to do is make them excited, right? If you get them excited about the product and you remind them that everything's going to be okay, that all you got to do is have fun, and that they're 100% in control of how well they do, then they'll immediately go back to D4, right? Because sometimes people need to realize where they're at before they start doing better. Because if not, they're going to constantly blame everything. And it's much easier to play the victim than it is to take control of what's actually happening to you. So hopefully this video helped you out. It's D1 or D4. I might make a more explanatory video of how to use it, but this is like the basic concepts. And if I was you, I would definitely share this to some of your top salespeople or just people that you want to grow in your organization, so that way they always know how to control their emotions and they can continue to grow. Thank you for watching, and click subscribe if you like the stuff.